I made a bad joke about dogs. It's not illegal to fantasize about dogs. You can dream about them all night long.
AnacondaSin is a 30-year-old woman born to a religious family from Fort Wayne, Indiana. She became known for her viral internet video in the early 2010s, but a viral video would just be the tip of the iceberg. From claims of relationships with animals, weird situations she found herself in with her father, to the relationship she claims to have had with her 8-year-old brother. The history of AnacondaSin is strange, degenerate, and absolutely insane, but I must preface this off the start. A lot of the info is coming from AnacondaSin, and unfortunately, she is a very unreliable narrator with a very nasty habit of accusing people of heinous actions just to garner sympathy, and a little bit of donations on top of that, or what she really prefers, attention. So we will be saying allegedly a lot in this video. The first thing we need to discuss is the infamous video of AnacondaSin in the Minecraft convention.
Would you like to join my dad's Minecraft server, MineForgeCraft? I've got business cards here if you would like to join.
Join his Minecraft what?
Minecraft, MineForgeCraft.com.
Oh,
He has a
MineForgeCraft.
server. He's had it up for like a few years, I think now, and he's got really good staff. And I was wondering if you would like to maybe join it.
I'm having a hard time hearing what to say, but if it's a clan, I'd love to be invited.
A Minecraft server. My dad does Minecraft server. Yeah.
Maybe we can take the card and check it out later.
Yeah. I can take the card and look at it.
Sweet.
Welcome to MineForgeCraft. Obviously you could see the rules. You have to type /rules. For the spawn, get back to exactly where I'm standing, right on top of this glowstone. You type /spawn. All the portals that you need to know are downstairs, and the ranks are on this side.
Well, a week ago I made a video called Me at My New House. I got... let me take a look real quick. Let's see. On my YouTube channel, I have right there 121 views and 4 subscribers, and that's how many views I have. Yeah, I got 4 views on my new video I just uploaded a couple of days ago, 3 days ago, 4 days ago. That's 12 views on that one.
I know when we first saw that video, we felt really bad for her, and I was hoping that not only did the creator Notch join her dad's server, but that it was at least successful. And after such a viral moment, it had real potential. But unfortunately, things weren't going to be so easy for AnacondaSin. Attracting the attention of some unwanted clients, the majority of people that found their way over to AnacondaSin's Minecraft server, whether with good intentions in the beginning or not, soon discovered that Anna wasn't an innocent girl after all. There was many skeletons in her closet. Her dad might have been one of them. Starting off, I think the big question is, what did happen to the Minecraft server? The initial video happened over a decade ago. Well, to my surprise and possibly yours, Anna's pitch, as awkward as it was, got them a lot of traffic to her site. But it wasn't what she initially envisioned. People would spend their money to join, trash the server, make fun of Anna, get banned, resubscribe until they grew bored of it. And you may think that's what got the server shut down initially. But that was actually nothing compared to what actually happened. See, during her frequenting of her dad's server, she found a man who wasn't there to troll. He was actually up to more nefarious purposes. A 35-year-old married man, most likely viewing Anna as a vulnerable young girl. She was around 19 at the time, and the way Anna is mentally, far younger. The two began to flirt back and forth, with Anna developing serious feelings for this man, wanting to expand their relationship and meet alone in person. So without her father's knowledge, most likely because of her age, and the fact this was her dad's friend.
What really happened to MineForgeCraft? The Minecraft server, 2013. Well, once it got out there and everybody started joining the server, a lot of people came on there just to mess around on the server. You know, griefing, is that what they call it? And to make fun of me. And I might have also played a role in why the server got shut down. I was talking to him, but he had a wife and kid. He was 35 years old, and I tried to meet up with him. I was worried that he was gonna throw me under the bus afterwards and then tell my dad and get me in trouble.
She went to meet this 35-year-old man in a hotel room where the details are obscured, but it's not very hard to put two and two together. And as bad as this story can get, AnacondaSin claims this was also her ex-best friend's husband, and after discovering that Anna was having an affair with her husband, he didn't seem to mind it. In fact, just joined in. This love triangle continued on for some time until Anna got some very unexpected news. She was pregnant. Anna says there were many possible baby daddies, but the thought of Anna bearing her husband's child ruined their friendship and led to the couple's divorce. After having her child, Anna realized she was not a fit mother. She still wanted to live the rock star lifestyle. There's even multiple videos of her recording herself doing makeup or talking about anime while her daughter cries in the background, only to be consoled by Anna's mom, who Anna also hates, as she acts as if nothing is happening in the background either. It wouldn't surprise you that shortly after her daughter's birth, AnacondaSin willingly let her sister adopt her child, giving her a much more stable background, and that's one of the few good things in this story.
I got told in high school, you better do all your fun, crazy stuff in your 20s. Do it now, because you might not ever get the opportunity again. And all my friends were doing it, so I wanted to. Only, I didn't realize that I would be losing a huge part of who I was. My innocence. Myself. In the process of doing all the crazy shenanigans that I did. But I got told that you should do it in your 20s, because once you turn 30, you won't get to. So I never really thought, what happens when you're after 30? Life goes on, but it won't be as fun. And I never wanted children, so that's out of the question. Yeah, see, I do that. And then next, I do lipstick.
After giving up her child, AnacondaSin would go on to make multiple videos detailing how unfortunate she was to have a kid, especially with all of the conditions that she has. Her entire family was telling her how bad of a mistake she made. They'd be quickly proven right when, as soon as the child was born, Anna would admit sometime in the future that she played up her conditions to get her family to care for her.
My sister and I had me take a pregnancy test, and it did not show that I was. It was too soon to know for sure. So the three of us, me and my sister and father, went to get me a blood test, but I was too dehydrated. My belly got bigger, and my grandma told me to take another test. My sister went to tell my dad after she saw that the test said yes. My dad was making me a doctor appointment, and told me that I was pregnant for the rest of my life. We went to the mall and talked about how hard it will be to be a mother. My dad told me that there is no going back now. My sister told me, you done fucked up, kid. I had to watch my sugar when I was pregnant, and when I found out it was a girl, I was so happy. I am a single mother, living with my father. I did take Nate back when I was pregnant, but he told me Abby was going to be a fat and ugly baby, so I broke up with him after he told me that. He didn't care for her, and would get mad when I would talk about her. Abby is the love of my life, and I would always put her first before any man.
If it wasn't for them, there's no imagining what could have happened. Anna still to this day falsely accuses people, has random hookups off of dating apps, while chatting with strangers online. It's just not an environment a kid needs to be in, especially when Anna herself has expressed interest in younger people. I feel like I should also mention this. There's multiple potential baby daddies. Maury would have a hard time pinning this one down, but from the time frame and most of her family members believing it to be this man, I believe it is the guy she met off MindForgeCraft. He was 35 at the time, the timelines match up, and Anna has alluded to it in recent streams.
I did what was best in the end. It was my choice. I wanted to give her up for adoption, and I did not want to raise that child. I do not want to raise that child. I do not ever want to. I probably can't, given my disabilities and stuff, and my vision loss and stuff. It would be really difficult, and I'd probably be the one stuck doing all the work anyways, because guys never really do shit for the kids anyways. I mean, my dad went to work, but that's a whole nother story. I did what I could. I did the best thing for her in the end. And hopefully they can leave me alone. I told them to stay out of my life. I don't want anything to do with them, you know. I thought I knew what I wanted way back when. I thought I was in love. And it didn't work out that way. Just because I said I wanted to get married and have kids and all that stuff in the past, I was horny. Yes, I slept around when I was younger, but dreams change, people change, you mature, you get older, and I want to be single. I want to enjoy my life. I like the freedom. I like being an aunt. I'm not responsible for her. She's not my kid. I gave that right up. I basically don't have a kid, right, at this point. Like, she's not my kid. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to have sex. And I'm not a parent. It's who raises the child. It's who adopts them. It's who raises them that makes them. That's the parent.
You would think AnacondaSin would show some appreciation for her sister, at least out of all of her family members. But no, her sister is one of Anna's new favorite family members to fantasize about. Around 2016, Anna was liberated. Those are her words, not mine.
When I want to look like a boy, I dress like this. Big old t-shirt, chain wallet, as you can see, so that, you know, that kind of thing. And sometimes even a ball cap, which I'm not wearing right now, but it's mainly how I dress, like, on days that I just, you know, don't give a shit. Boy, well, I'm basically a girl that dresses like a guy. Sometimes I wish I was a guy. Sometimes. Because then I wouldn't be as emotional, and I could just freely date whoever I wanted, and I wouldn't have to worry about periods, pregnancy, being judged by who you sleep with, sleeping around. Guys can do that, and have people back them up, like their buddies and whatnot, and when you're a girl that do that, people tend to start calling you names. Girls are more emotional than guys are, especially when it comes to intimacy. This is Emma. She has not changed yet into a human. There was only one way. I shall kiss her, so that we can live together another life, happily forever, and possibly have kids.
Damien! Oh, I'm so happy that you are human.
She shall become human now.
Damien, it worked. I am human like you. You did it. Now we can be happy together.
Around this time, Anna would begin to tell her audience that she would spy on her sister while she was getting dressed, and saying how attractive she was. But in the same week, will post about how much better her sister's life is than hers, since Anna's sister's husband can afford Uber Eats. That's the life Anna wants. Uber Eats and no more UTIs.
I was a girl. I pretended to be straight for my mom, who just wanted a granddaughter. Babies aren't supposed to come out of men's bodies. My sister, I always thought was hot when changing clothes. I thought I was a girl. That's why Bethany in 2016 was so awesome. When my sister caught us, I'm a boy brain, trapped in a woman's body.
As careless and disturbing as many of these videos are, Anna's disturbing thoughts about her family members and younger people started a long time ago. Anna has claimed on many occasions that her and her younger brother were doing much more than just bonding during their youth. She claims at just the age of 8 years old, her brother was 5, they would begin to experiment with each other whenever they found themselves alone together until they were caught by her mother.
You know, me and my brother didn't always get along. Me and my sister didn't always get along. That's sibling stuff. That's natural. You know, to fight with each other and, you know, argue and all this other stuff. That's sibling stuff. That's normal. And one day you're going to look back and you're all going to laugh about it. I loved having a little brother when he died. Me and my brother basically got busted having sex, and my mom separated us. Yeah, because we took baths together and we were curious. And we did that a couple of times, and then we'd get embarrassed and laugh at each other and stuff, right? And then,
That's a bummer.
Yeah. I mean, for obvious reasons, it was the right thing for her to do, but by then it was kind of already too late. How do I say this? So, I used to date my brother. I was like 11, and he was 8. I'll just say that. And my mom caught us doing something. And that's kind of where all of this provocative behavior as an adult came from. I used to convince and talk my brother into certain things. And it was all my idea. Because again, I was 3 years older, and I was feeling it, and I was going through changes. Like, if you was attracted to, like, Spider-Man universe or attracted to teenage boys, right? But you're like, does that make you a or does it only make you a if you actually acted on it, right? Because it's only illegal if you act upon it, right? Yeah.
Now, there's many things that go against Anna stating this. One is when Anna is claiming she got caught. It's one of the biggest fantasies she thinks of, being caught up in the act. And when feeling a lack of attention, Anna will spit out whatever horrid fantasy that's on her mind. Now, it's still absolutely sick for her to think about these things, for that to even be on her mind, but it gets even worse. And this is also why I don't think this happened. Anna's brother tragically passed away at a very young age due to a tumor in his brain. So the chances of Anna spending that much alone time with him probably wasn't a reality, due to him requiring a lot more attention from his parents and medical personnel. But I will say, Anna claims they were discovering each other at 8 years old, and Anna's brother passed away when he was 8. So there's potential of 3 years of this stuff going on to her poor brother, but then again, who knows what happened? Only Anna does. Anna's brother, however, wasn't the only person in her family she claims to have relations with. Anna's father, along with her sister, is who she seems to fantasize about the most. When Anna is feeling desperate to gain attention, she'll often talk about these wild tales of catching her father in some kind of sexual act.
But to be honest, no other man would be able to love me unconditionally like my father, or be able to put up with me like my father has. He knows me better than I know myself. I'd probably be happier living by myself, living on my own. I'd need assistance, yes, and I would have those, hopefully, but there's so many other problems that could occur if I did live on my own. And my dad knows this, which is why he's like, Anna, if I think you could live on your own, you would. There's a lot of women out there that I meet that don't have dads like mine. He's awesome. I need to respect him more. I need to be nicer to him. I need to act like I actually care and respect the life that he's given me and that the things he's doing for me. I need to show that respect.
Compared to when Anna just briefly mentions her dad, she tends to bring up how he's constantly trying to battle Anna's promiscuity, from forcing her to attend church, or he's going to sell her house, to installing a Ring camera to try and catch and stop her from inviting strange men over to their home. But there is one story in Anna's past that kinda lines up with all of the tall tales. It was her sneaking a strange man into her house one night she met on Tinder, But instead of the strange man, and I must mention this, Anna has severe vision impairment, so she probably couldn't see too well. She claimed that she accidentally found her father instead of the man. Her father wasn't too off-put by this situation and just told her calmly to go back to her room and stop touching him like that. But still yet, take this with a grain of salt. This just seems to be the only one of her stories that even remotely lines up.
No, trust me, there's been a few times where I've touched him thinking he was somebody else.
How does that
and then I didn't
misunderstanding
know it was
happen?
him. Yeah. And then, like, he's like, what the hell are you doing? I was in the kitchen, in the dark, there's lights on. I grabbed him. He said, what the hell are you doing? And
But Anna, who else would be in your house?
Well, exactly. Well, sometimes I have people that come to me from, like, Tinder that will come through, like, the garage, you know? And
Yeah.
I saw a hot dude, and then I started trying to make out with my dad, but then he was wearing like button-up shirt and all that, and then he was like, "What you doing?" And he said, "You expecting someone?" And I said, nothing." And I realized who it was, and I got embarrassed, and I stuck my face in the fridge. And my dad's like, "What are you doing? What the hell are you doing?" And I said, "Oh, nothing." And then my dad looked at me like this. And I had mentioned to him that I saw it by accident. He said, "You can never tell anybody about that. I do not want to get in trouble, and I don't want people thinking that something's going on. This is not. But still, I can understand where he's coming from. He doesn't want to get fucked over or anything. So when I looked over, and this is why I don't drink anymore, and this hasn't happened since then. But it must have. I had to have been a drink because there's no way this really happened. But like, this part did happen. Like, I talked about it not being circumcised or whatever, and then, like, I looked down and he had it out. He literally had it out. I don't know how it really happened, but we sniggled at each other. We kind of, like, laughed at each other. We kind of said a bunch of other stuff to each other. And the next thing I knew, I was basically riding the fuck out of him.
When your dad says, if you don't stop sleeping around, I'm gonna sell your house. Fair enough. That's why I started going to church.
But here recently, Anna hasn't been too keen on trying to accuse her father of such heinous crimes. When her father learned of these allegations, he was obviously furious at Anna, telling her to take all the videos down or he was selling her house. So who only knows what was lost to history. But as more people rediscovered AnacondaSin's, new stories many assumed to be false would begin to emerge. Anna has never had so many eyes on her, and with more people watching leads to more variables, and some people began reporting these allegations to the police, and to her shock, police and investigators begin to pop up every now and then at her house to question Anna about her online activity. She wasn't very pleased with any of this.
But my dad was also a super nice guy. And he would lay in my bed in that one little bed, that one little room, and my sister's room was kind of in the middle, and I was pretty much homeschooled. I had a big old box TV, and my dad would lay in my bed. We'd be laying next to each other, and he would show me his, and we would do what we do, and then, like, it was like playing together, you know? But he told me not to tell anyone, because then people would, like, they wouldn't understand. The thing I wanted to say was my dad paid $6,000 for innocence in court to protect me and to save me, right? To bail me out, right? Well, in a way, I kind of saved my dad and bailed him out. When I deleted all those YouTube videos of the allegations against him, I deleted all my videos. Once there was this shared linked video. A couple of my troll friends that turned out to be trolls, added me on Snapchat. Well, I shared with them a various video of me in the shower, and they shared it around. Some guy shows up to my house, claims to be an officer, right, dressed in all black and all that stuff, asking me, how is this getting shared around, where's this from, or whatever, asking me about this. Sticking my tongue out, so on and so forth, or whatever. I'm like, dude, I couldn't even remember at the time where that video even was, but I deleted it because it turns out it was on my Google Drive of my Google account. I shared it with some friend of mine, and I guess she shared it to somebody else. and somehow it got to whatever this guy was that showed up to my house asking me about it. So I deleted it. I'm like, what?
One of the more mysterious people in Anna's life would be her mother. After plenty of research, I've only ever heard a few things about her, but one thing is certain. Anna viewed her mom as some sort of gatekeeper from all of her fantasies. When you hear Anna start mentioning her most likely fabricated stories of her childhood, Anna's mom would be the one to separate Anna from her brother, her dog, etc. AnacondaSin also mentions that her mom may have been addicted to drugs and that her mother's cheating broke up the family, which that does seem to be the case. After the divorce, AnacondaSin moved with her mom and seemed to stay primarily with her until she passed away, though I'm not sure why someone who seemed to take such good care of Anna would be someone she comes off as having so much hatred towards. I believe it might be because Anna thought for sure her mom was going to take care of her kid, but when she didn't, it caused Anna to develop a deep hatred for her. Even after Anna's mom passed away, she still hasn't gotten over it.
My mom said all this stuff about helping me with the baby, helping me move out, helping me get married, helping me do all this stuff. She got my hopes and dreams up. She fed me a bunch of bullshit like she did for 18 years of my life. She always lied about shit. And then she would manipulate me into something and then turn around and then, turn it against me. She said I owe her a grandchild. I only did it because my mother wanted a child. She couldn't have kids of her own.
Chocolate and Grouchy, they were dogs, and they were talking. They had friends named Luke and Brownie, and it was this crazy little story where Chocolate and Brownie had always had a bunch of puppies, and Brownie and Luke both liked Chocolate, and Chocolate cheated on Grouchy because they're married. So basically it was like, she cheated on her husband with Brownie and Luke. But this is Chocolate and Grouchy. It was a crazy little story. I don't know why, for a 16, 14-year-old, to be writing this story, it's kind of crazy. I basically just went off, the reason how I came up with such a horrible story was my mom was in and out of relationships a lot, so, I'm not blaming her. I shouldn't have been, and what I'm saying is, a lot of the stuff I've seen happen throughout my life.
I was about 15, I was living with my mom because my parents were separated, and, we were moving down to Arkansas, and we lived there for a few months, and then we had moved back because, stuff going on. So anyway, on the way there, it was like a 9-hour drive, straight, if you were to, and I told my mom I had a really bad feeling, and she said, it's probably just nothing. One of those feelings where you feel like something bad is about to happen, maybe we should stay where we're all and not, continue any further and just take a longer break, and just go into the back room and eat a few snacks and leaving. I told her, hey Mom, I realized she didn't have a seatbelt on. So Mom, you need to put your seatbelt on. She did. And about 30 seconds or so, a minute or so after that happened, the semi truck that was in front of us had turned our direction. And somehow the back of it, which is the ball that you usually see that's striped, it's got the white and red striped or whatever, if you know what I'm talking about, had caught the back of our car. Because, as it turned, that's what you can imagine that, it caught that. And it caused us to spin. And it was raining and stuff, so you can imagine that, something like that would happen because it's raining so hard and stuff. Which is why my advice to you, I can't drive, I don't have a license, but my advice to you is that if you are out in the dark and it's raining, I suggest that you don't drive in the dark when it's raining on the highway or really busy roads with big trucks and whatnot and stuff, because it's not good.
Not only was family members at risk of Anna, it seems that her household pets suffered just as much at the hands of her. Many people refer to themselves as cat people or dog people, just saying which one they like more. Anna takes this to a whole other level. Over the years, Anna has claimed to have done some, let's say, unsavory actions with animals. Anna, who normally takes insults and jokes head on, either runs with them or agrees to infuriate the aggressor. But when confronted with comments about her animal love, she immediately claims that it's all a joke and she never meant it. How dumb could people be? If you're curious about some of the comments Anna has made, some include claiming that when she was younger, she would aggressively press herself against her plushies. The only reason she was ever caught doing this because she would give herself asthma attacks from how aggressive and how frequent she would be having these sessions. But her curiosity didn't end there. She would find herself wondering if she and a deceased deer could mate. I'ma say probably not. She's also claimed that all dogs have different sizes, whatever that means. And to nobody's surprise, Anna is no longer allowed to have pets after getting caught with her dog Larry doing the unimaginable. Her mom decided it was best to just keep him away from her. So, Anna found a way to still get her kicks. She would begin buying gerbils, but the gerbils wouldn't be around long. They mysteriously vanished into thin air. More like, Anna found it arousing to feed her gerbils to the dog now, and this was enough to satisfy her needs. For now, and we can only imagine how many gerbils thought they were going to a loving home, only to be used for someone's sick and disgusting pleasures.
Now, wait, now she thinks I'm a freak, and now she thinks I'm weird, and now she thinks I'm a scary, horrible person now. Oh my god, this is why...
Do you think those things?
What?
Do you think those things sparkle?
I'm just trying to figure out if she's serious or not.
No, I really am serious.
She kind of is.
Like, have you ever, like, you've never been excited by, like, watching the animals, like, kill each other and eat each other as an 9-year-old? Like, that's never happened to you when you watch a Discovery Channel?
No, I feel sad.
But, like, it's so much entertainment, and it's, like, freaking awesome. Like, to watch that shit go down, dude. Like, oh my god.
I feel like...
Wouldn't you love to be that lioness, though? You know? Getting after that zebra, like... You know? Oh, that reminds me of a story. There was this guy that was a hunter that would that would unalive deer, and then he would, you know, do it with them after he unalived them, deer. And I'm like, okay. I mean, it's a deer, at least it's not a person, you know?
No, wait, no. But I mean, what?
I mean, if that's something that you're into and you're like alone in the woods and it's just a deal, as long as you're not doing it to people.
You know that's illegal, right?
That's why it has to be done when no one else is around. That's why it has to be done. That's why some people do it and they just never tell anyone. Duh. It's like my ex-boyfriend who was 45 and wanted me to have sex with his dog, but I didn't do it.
I don't believe that.
He did it with his dog.
No, I think you did it with the dog after this conversation.
I never did it with the dog. No, I never did it. Because the dog was scared of me and did not want to do it. It doesn't count if your eyes are closed.
I need therapy.
Every dog has a different size. Oh.
As you can tell, Anna has a very high sex drive. It seems to be what she's thinking about at least most of the time, and most people would assume, like most lolcows, getting a date would be something Anna had trouble with. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Even when she was younger, Anna would always have a boyfriend, and would often cheat on them, as well leading to some rumors of diseases being spread around.
Today I'm going to show you a sexy photo of Justin Bieber. No, old photos, old things that I had saved up in high school that I had kept. This, maybe it's not all from high school, but this was my first boyfriend when I was in 6th grade.
Says Dear Anna, says the time too, 2:30. Anna, when I'm sitting next to you, it feels like I'm very, very in love in you, because you could be the one to get married to. Oh, I don't care what the kids said to us about you feel like you do. Maybe, or yes, no, to do it together. P.S. This summertime, do you want to do it together? Ask. Yes, maybe, or not right now. He he told everybody that I gave him whoopies. Okay, now this is another little boyfriend I had. I had a boyfriend. He was really shy. His name was Blake, and we dated like a couple of weeks. But he didn't talk all that much. We went to a Valentine's dance, and this is what I drew. So I don't mind showing you this. I was really innocent then, so all I ever did was like kiss him on the lips.
But since school ended, Anna would have even more one-night stands, week-long relationships, and casual hookups. Anna has mentioned before, Anna had a dangerous tendency to swipe right on Tinder for every person she saw. This got her caught up on more than one occasion, claiming to have met up with a 70-year-old man and a 13-year-old boy. But we know very little about what actually happened during all of these meetups. First boyfriend we ever see with Anna on camera is a man named Clark, who at first seems like a good match for Anna. They're happy, playing together. He has one or two glaring flaws. He would constantly pull out weapons while the two were in bed, asking to get them involved. Anna thinking it was all a joke at first, until it began happening with more and more frequency, and the relationship would take a bigger hit after Anna and her boyfriend decided to, let's say, spend the night together at Anna's boyfriend's roommate's house, getting $10 each for their services, if you guys catch my drift. This was nice for Anna, but when Clark kept returning to his roommate without telling Anna about it, the relationship was on serious rocks at that point. But surprisingly, this wasn't the final straw. It was when Anna could no longer stand how much food he was eating. It was cutting into her rock star lifestyle too much.
If you're like me, where you had bad experiences with past relationships, spending money when it's only a one-way street. The guy's supposed to pay for dinner. One person didn't have a GED, and if you don't have a GED, you can't graduate from high school, which means you can't get a good job. And all I ever was a sugar mama. All my boyfriends that I ever had, basically only a few of them, only ever came over to my house because I had an Xbox, I had all the electronics you can think of, I have internet, which a lot of things that people don't have. So they would come and just play my Xbox and do all that kind of stuff, and that's basically all I was then, was internet and games.
I'm a hunter.
Oh yeah, he likes to hunt and stuff, and he doesn't like that about him or whatever.
Yeah, I see your knife. I see the knife on his hip.
But it's not my fault. It's my right to have my at my place.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he likes to see
Which ones? I got
Dude, anyone you want, just a knife.
Look at my book bag.
Oh,
I
you
love
like wear
knives.
that all the time?
Yeah, he's strapped all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. So.
Man, that's crazy.
Damn, almost cut my foot.
They tried to cut my clothes off one time, and I said, "Oh no, hold on, wait, let me take them off myself."
That's kind of sexy, not gonna lie. You're basically the Joker.
Talk about.
They call me Wayne Brown. What?
You're like the Joker in real life, bro.
Yeah, psychopath. You're like a mysterious psychopath, like an anime. That's what you're like.
With a hook.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang, dude, you're getting pimped out.
Turn it. $10.
Wait, so what was the video about?
A damn threesome. I don't do two
Hit
guys.
his ass, dude.
Oh.
I only fuck two girls, so I would do that.
Whoa, this guy had major confidence.
Anna, like most other lolcows, has a lust for fame, inspired by movie stars and especially country stars. Throughout her house is Kenny Chesney memorabilia, having autographs signed by him, countless CDs, and even a few DVDs that he made. I had no idea that dude was in movies.
There's a blue rocking chair sitting in the sand. What about the storms and the well-oiled hands? It sways back and forth. What's the half of the winds? Seems to always be there. I can only trust a friend. I've what a lot of books. What a few songs. Looked at my life, where it's going, where it's going.
I might have drawn in class, or it might have been at home. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, that's a drawing I did. It was Kenny Chesney. He's my favorite country star, like the last decade. Okay, so.
My mom bought that for me for Christmas one day. For Christmas. a couple of years ago, 2008, and it was actually signed by him and everything, and yeah, so I framed that, because it needs framed. It's so fucking awesome. And I got all of his DVDs. He's a country singer, and if you don't really know about him, you probably look him up on YouTube, I guess, like type in like Kenny Chesney, because like that's his name, Kenny Chesney, you know. I got all his DVDs, pretty much. Here's these DVDs. I'll just go ahead and show you real quick, and I can just, show you real fast.
I can only hope that Kenny Chesney's lyrics doesn't influence AnacondaSin's, because in her music videos, besides stolen guitar tracks from the internet, the songs are nothing but pure degeneracy, from the constant mention of relations to her explicit use of derogatory phrases typically aimed at black people. The comments on these music videos range from expressing how much talent she has to trying to explain to Anna why she shouldn't say such terrible words, to which Anna always replies she only dates black men, so she can say whatever she wants. I think she misses the point of what they're trying to say, or just generally doesn't care. But during my research, I've come across a few people claiming that Anna has been manipulated into making these extremely offensive songs. As I've mentioned, some of the comments are in support of this music, so there may be some truth to those claims. It doesn't excuse her actions, but it does give a better idea of why she continues to post these kind of music videos. And providing some support for that idea, the song Anna seems to be the most fond of that she made was a song about a man named Harvey. During the video, her and Harvey actually seem somewhat happy, spending time together, and not once in the song is there a slur or even a curse word. But even though her and Harvey seemed like a happy couple, Harvey cared for Anna, but couldn't break his habit of cheating with other women, leading her to stop chasing after him for the time being and pour her heart out into another country song. And I think that's the only barely positive relationship Anna has had in her entire life. Anna has also claimed Harv to be the father of her child in the past, but after a heated argument, it seems like this was just an attempt from Anna to get Harv back. However, Harvey, for at least a few months, did believe this kid was his and would spend time caring for it, but as the time went on and the child looked nothing like him, he decided it was time to move on from Anna. Especially now since she's saying it's the Mind Forge Craft dude's kid, he really dodged a bullet right there.
It's like, kinda good thing that we got a divorce, it's a good thing we're not married anymore. I don't want to be property. I don't want to be owned. I don't want to be controlled. I don't want to be, I would feel trapped. If I got married now, even back then, if I got married at 27 to some, whatever the heck, I would not be happy. Because I'd have to cook and clean for the person, and then I'd be the one paying the bills, I'd be the one cooking, I'd be the one doing all the work. But here's my advice to you. Be a better person. Don't make the same mistakes that you did in the past. Strive to do better. Get a better job, be a better person, treat people better. And maybe treat women the way they should be treated. Don't jump into bed with them. Get to know them first, fall in love with them the right way, and marry them, have kids with them, whatever. Do it right the next time around.
Now, you may be wondering, since Anna's music career hasn't been as fruitful as she may have been expecting, how has she been supporting herself? Anna has had a few jobs in the past. I've heard AnacondaSin be compared to the Lolcow Cyraxx, and I can agree there are many similarities between them, but this is where they differ. Anna isn't afraid to work. She often works jobs that to many people she'd seem completely incapable of doing, since she's blind in one eye and the other one doesn't see too well either. She was a custodian at a local hospital or clinic where she was earning decent money. She would have had to clean the halls, toilets, and patients' room, and she was also giving away plasma for extra cash. Why was she needing extra cash? Well, that's because her husband at the time, who AnacondaSin allegedly states was a very lazy man, who she met back in 2014. Running away with them to her mother's house around that time, she wanted to marry him even back then, but after cheating on him with one of his roommates, and Shannon getting in an altercation with every single one of her family members, even striking Anna's mother in the face, that was the final straw that broke the camel's back. Anna's father put his foot down and made AnacondaSin's break up with Shannon. But years later, the two met back up, after believing that he changed, and with Shannon apparently having a court settlement on the way, Anna knew he was the man for her. After getting married, Anna realized her husband seemingly had no interest in her, so to win his affection, AnacondaSin would go to the grocery store and be forced to buy a bunch of snack foods and candy that destroyed their budget and left them with little to eat at the house, forcing her to buy fast food more often, and make it even worse, she couldn't afford to buy soap or laundry detergent, leaving them both smelling, by Anna's own account, putrid. But don't worry, it gets worse. As mentioned before, Anna's husband was a very large man, bordering 400 pounds. This left him unable to clean himself properly. And during a livestream panel, Anna recounts the bedroom tales of her and her husband. She has a sudden realization that his poor bathroom habits was the cause of her severe and repeated UTIs. As you can tell, this relationship wasn't working out, but Anna was desperate. Even though they were broke and hadn't showered in weeks, Anna would still spend hundreds of dollars on gifts for her husband just so he could stay unemployed. He would even go and pawn his consoles gifted to him by Anna until she pawned them out with her next paycheck just so he could stay unemployed for just a little bit longer. After a little over a year of this, Anna finally divorced her husband Shannon. After the divorce, Anna would discover that a nest egg she thought she was building during the relationship was being stolen by Shannon for almost a year. Anna claimed she was putting $500 in a joint bank account with her father each month, only to discover that her husband had stolen nearly $6,000 from her. And to top it all off, around that time, she got fired for cussing loudly in the dining hall of the hospital and running over tons of people's feet with heavy shopping carts.
So then basically, he kicked Aldi out, and then my dad said, your house is like shameless. Your house is like that of Shameless. With basically being, like, people coming and going all the time, and Shannon was always wanting to move people in. He wanted Jewel to live here, he begged me to let Aldi live here. And my dad's like, well, why did you let it happen? I'm like, because he wouldn't shut up about it, and he wanted it to happen. He gave me a three-way pass to have with Bryce, his friend, and my ex-boyfriend. They got along really well. He kept asking me the night we got married, he wanted a threesome. So he had a threesome with me and a guy, one other guy. And Shannon stood there and watched me while I got blown out by Bryce. And then he wanted to be able to do it with Aldi, but then he wouldn't do it with Aldi when I was there, but he probably did it with her while I was gone at work.
Now that we've covered all of the major events that has kept AnacondaSin relatively inactive over the last decade, we can now finally get to what she's been up to recently. Popping back up on TikTok around 2 years ago, Anna would gain a small following, creating a small but active Kiwi Farms and a Reddit with just about as much traction as her TikTok. But her real audience would faithfully watch her live streams, just wanting to get some more information on Anna's life and figure out this huge mystery that she had been building up for, well, at least a year prior. A Redditor believed to be Anna posted a story about a particularly smelly shoebox, and when discovered, Anna was asked if it was hers and what was causing the smell. Anna, with her lack of shame, gave the full breakdown of the story, and, well, it's just so haunting I thought you guys had to see it.
What's going on with this thing in the shoebox? This is a shoebox gate. We need to figure out what's going on.
Okay, so I gotta hear how I say it because of TikTok terms, but it had my adult toys in it. That's what the smell was.
Like dildos?
There's a smell from it.
It was I didn't wash them, and I was trying to figure out what this smell was.
Oh my god. Anna, don't tell people that.
Well, it's true. They wanted to know what was in the shoebox. So it was all in the shoebox.
Don't tell them it smelled.
Underneath my bed. Hold on. It was all in the shoebox underneath my bed. A couple years back, I posted this Reddit story about how I cleaned my room and everything. I couldn't figure out what the smell was coming from. And I opened up this shoebox I had under my bed, and I realized that's what that was.
After discovering TikTok, Anna had begun showing interest in some of her peers. pretending to have a mukbang session with King Cobra JFS, and like the dimensional merge opening its doors, this video cemented Anna with the likes of King Cobra, Chris Chan, and Cyraxx. After discovering TikTok, Anna had begun showing interest in some of her peers, pretending to have a mukbang session with King Cobra JFS, and like the dimensional merge opening its doors, this video cemented Anna with the likes of King Cobra, Chris Chan, and Cyraxx. She would say that some of King Cobra's food wasn't that bad. I don't believe her, but she wasn't only interested in having fake mukbang sessions with King Cobra. She wanted the real thing, and a troll pretending to be him filled that need. It didn't last long as King Cobra JFS would begin dating Null, and that one and all chaotic saga is a video in its own right, but that wouldn't be the only Lolcow Anna would fall in love with. None other than Cyraxx, one of the craziest Lolcows to have ever entered the arena. Somehow through troll influence, Anna finally decided to send Cyraxx a message, and before too long, the current chapter of Anna's life has begun. Anna began having a very charged video call and phone conversation with Cyraxx. Even though this relationship was troll manufactured, they both enjoyed what was going on, Anna seemingly more so, since to this day, she begged Cyraxx to hop on call with her and start back up where they left off. But Cyraxx now sees Anna as a troll herself and becomes furious at the idea of trolls playing Cupid and actually finding him a decent match, even though he may not be what Anna typically looks for in a man or whatever species has caught her eye.
Today I'm going to review King Cobra Food Review. For those of you that don't know, King Cobra is a YouTuber.
Here's King Cobra JFS back at it with another video. And today we are going to food hack a breakfast sandwich.
The ingredients. This was 13 bucks. 21 bucks. I bought some chips also. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. He's like real good. Whoa, wow. So I'm here to do an update. A Cobra update. Because that's what King Cobra calls his viewers. Yesterday, when I ate full food reviews sandwiches that Cobra made, how do I say this? I took the bounce to Super Bowl, and it burned really bad. But it felt so good at the same time. Anaconda, signing off. My stomach hurt so bad before I did that.
Little did Anna know that Cyraxx was actually in a relationship with another girl during the phone call. Anna felt so bad about this, not wanting to continue being the man-stealer she once was. She would try multiple times to apologize. Every time would end up harassed, mostly by Cyraxx. But that didn't stop her from trying her best to help him, the best way she could, giving him sound advice on being a Lolcow. See, AnacondaSin has a soft spot for him, which I think leads back to Anna's positive mindset about being a Lolcow. She views being infamous on the internet just as fondly as fame. Whether it's good or bad, Anna is just happy to be mentioned. And she wants this for Cyraxx, but most likely due to Anna's limited knowledge on Cyraxx, doesn't understand this is the complete opposite mindset to his. But nonetheless, the weeks following, Anna would get on Marty's stream and try to defend herself from him and her past, which always ended up something like this: Anna getting on stream, being nice, apologizing, one of Cyraxx's fake girlfriends or himself would begin hurling insults her way, which Anna would just soak in, giving a little comeback and move on. These streams really showcase that Anna has dealt with a lot in her entire life. It never seems to faze her no matter what people say, and after people get done yelling, Anna would move on to a topic that she really enjoys: country music. As we discussed earlier, Anna loves country, so she would be asked to sing her extremely bad songs, which she quickly agreed to, and that's how the night would normally end.
These days you don't really need it, thanks to the internet. Just make a few
bad jokes that'll go viral. When you're a celebrity without the money, people think you're cool just 'cause you're on TikTok. When relationships go down the drain, I'll blame it on the fame, the pleasures that go with. And I can be a church girl. It's not like I have a choice. That's the thing, guys. Free will is an illusion. What you have is a privilege. It's earned, not given. And the only thing that's free is salvation. John 3:16. Parents see you as an extension of themselves, to do better, not have it better. But hey, I started budgeting a lot better. In my life, and intelligence has improved because I haven't been dumbed down with brain fog of love lobotomies. At first you think it's cringe. You think, here I was running from God all these years, only for you to be pushed right back in. Happiness is a choice. So what if I can't have smack? Ooh, look at this nice young lady reading the Bible over here. My name's Chad. What's your name? My name's Anna. Hi. I was just reading this verse here, and that's a nice name. I don't think you're religious, though, because I've heard some things about you. You know, rumors. So I was wanting to know if you want to go out with me sometime. Yeah, we can get some coffee sometime or something like that. Yeah, you definitely got my attention. I mean, you can definitely read the Bible when we're done. You know, to seek your forgiveness.
Anna, to deal with her newfound fame, has been smoking more than just tobacco, if you can understand what I'm getting at. And whatever your opinions are on smoking, it seems that for Anna, the effects she's getting aren't the positive ones. It kind of reminds me of when Chris Chan was seen ingesting the substance and began dancing with his imaginary characters. After smoking, or been under the influence of some other medication, Anna will get on live stream and deliver some very slow, boring, incoherent rants which range from her religious beliefs to just plain nonsense. Anna was born to a Lutheran church. In one video, she claimed that her father told her she needed to stop sleeping around, go to church, or he's going to sell her house, which we mentioned earlier in the video. This prompted AnacondaSin to dive headfirst into religion, even becoming a frequenter of Christian Reddit forums. During said video, Anna claims that she's living her life backwards, which could be assumed that even though her family was very church focused, it wasn't something Anna had any interest in until she was faced with an ultimatum. The story of Anna is one of the strangest I've ever seen on the internet, and that's when I'm assuming most of her tales were made up on the spot. With the possibility of the small truths and the lies, even if everything was a story, the fact that Anna is willing to go out of her way to damage the reputation of her entire family just to shock or excite a few strangers on the internet is absolutely insane. And when she had her daughter, the lack of care shown even to this day is something else. Hopefully we never hear about her daughter again in Anna's story, because the way things are going, with her popping up on more and more panels, I think this story is going to get bigger and bigger as time goes on. More things are uncovered, more people are going to become interested. With how impressionable AnacondaSin is, I don't think it'd be long before she did something that none of us could expect. But that's where I'll end the video today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop a like and leave a sub. Follow the links down below, homies, and I'll catch you guys next time.